Good morning. Welcome. How are you today? I um I want to focus today on what we're feeding ourselves. And so that's a great question to ask yourself as you begin this breath work um, in just a moment. But just question, what is it that you're feeding yourself? And I don't mean like literally like, whatever food you're ingesting. I mean, what thoughts are you feeding yourself? Um, what goodness are you feeding yourself? Are there anxiety and fears that you're feeding yourself? So just working through how that feels as you come into a comfy seat. And start to notice all of the external sounds of the living world around you. Start to either find stillness, or maybe it's just a little bit of movement here, just seeing how you're feeling right here, right now. We can take a nice big deep cleansing breath here together. So find a tall spine. Really let those shoulders roll themselves up towards the ears and then relax down the back. And as you're ready, let's take that nice big deep inhale. Inhale in. Exhale, let it go. So start to turn everything inwards. How you're feeling internally this morning. Not just your physical body, although that is very important, but how are you emotionally this morning? Mentally, how do you think you're doing? There is no right or wrong answer. Ask yourself what you're feeding yourself. And it can be all of the tangible foods, it can be thoughts, it can be ideas. Allow that to come in just for a moment. And notice how just allowing yourself that few moments here in the safety of your mat, how you feel physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually when you allow yourself to think those thoughts. Where does it show up for you? Send just enough mental awareness to your physical body to lengthen up through the spine once again. And as you're ready, let's take another big, deep breath together. Inhale deep. Exhale, let it go. Bring your awareness to your breath. And as you're ready, you're going to move out of this seat. You can keep the eyes closed or a soft gaze towards the floor. You're just going to come from this easy seat to lying on your back. And you can keep your knees bent. You can send them out straight. The legs, that is, not the knees. You can take just a moment here to notice the difference in how you're feeling in your body from just coming from an upright position to being pronated down on your mat. You can move the legs just a little bit, the knees from side to side. Notice any sensations, any tightness. But also allow yourself to notice where you're feeling nice and open today. What feels open for you? And as you come back to the breath, start to just feed yourself some goodness. So what are some thoughts that you could feed yourself right now that you're grateful for? Now, as you start to let those things come to mind, just start to inhale, and as you exhale, let the knees fall over to one side. They're not falling all the way down. They're just exhaling over to one side or the other. We're just making gentle windshield wipers here. So, and then an inhale through center and an exhale over to the right. So as you get that movement from inhales to exhales from left to right, and you start feeling into all of those spaces that are starting to feel more open, there's more awareness. Come back to that list of goodness. So is it the birds? Their bird song? Is it the grass? Is it your family? Is it your practice today? Just showing up for yourself. Feed yourself some goodness. And as you're ready, inhale those knees back up to center. And then exhale, lift the legs all the way up towards the ceiling. They don't have to be super straight, they're just up. And then go ahead, if you've had the arms extended long, bend the arms at the elbows so that the hands are up in the air. We're in something, it's a almost dead bug. Dead bug, almost dead bug. So we're in almost dead bug. And we're just going to take some time here to circle the wrists and the ankles. Notice how good it feels with your lower back connected to the mat in this way. You can bend the palms forward and back at the wrist, feeling the stretch through the inside and the outside of the hand. You can point and flex the feet. The heels can go up a little further, toes towards your chest. deepening that stretch through the calf muscles. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Take an inhale, reach your hands all the way up towards the ceiling. So now you are in this dead bug. See if you can relax the shoulders down towards the mat and start to engage the legs. Take an inhale here. And as you exhale, reach your fingertips up towards your toes. Hold the upper body off the mat. Just breathe here, 4 or 5 breaths. Inhale deep. Exhale slowly with control. Let the upper body come all the way back down to the mat. And then bend the knees, bring them into the chest. So knees can stay close together right in front of the rib cage, or you can bring the knees wide out to the side of the ribs. Just give yourself a little gentle rock side to side, keeping a connection with the lower back to the mat. Come back to the breath. So we're going to make our way over into table. And I'm going to give you some options here. You can roll over to one side or the other, put your palm down on the floor and push yourself up. Or you can take your hands right behind your knees, bend the knees back down, and then start to gently rock and roll up the length of the spine. Cross the legs and move yourself back into table. If that doesn't work for your body, no big deal. Meet me in table however it feels good. So you're going to make sure those knees are right under hips. Fingers are spread right under shoulders. Find that neutral tailbone so it's not, and it's nice and flat. I could serve tea off your back. Tops of the feet are on the mat. When you're ready, you're going to curl your toes. Take an inhale here and slowly exhale. Send the hips back towards the heels, feeling a stretch through the bottom of the feet. See if you can relax the upper body. So we're not in a full child's pose here. We're just stretching, bringing some awareness to the bottoms of the feet. But we're letting the head hang heavy. We're letting the shoulders relax. As you're ready, take a nice big inhale. And then exhale, make your way back into your table. Release the tops of your feet back to the mat. Find that neutral spine behind. We'll take an inhale and we'll roll the crown and the tailbone up. Strong through the arms. Really feeling a stretch through the lower torso as you round that tailbone up. And then exhale, round it in. Really press the pelvis forward. Chin into the chest. Keeping the shoulders over the wrists. Inhale, back up. Move through your breath. Two more. And then come back to a neutral spine. From here, we're going to send that right foot back down the back of your mat. And you're going to let those toes be right on the edge of the mat, okay? Or, well, I mean on your toes. not on the edge of the mat. It doesn't matter where on the mat your toes are, just, behind you. All right, here we go. Nice big inhale. And then exhale, slowly sink back, feeling that stretch to the back of the leg. Now what's going on? Hands into the floor, release the chin down towards the chest. Inhale. Bring that right foot in. We'll send this left leg back. We're going to do the same thing. So you just got your toes on the mat. Take an inhale. And then exhale, send your hips back, feeling that stretch through the calf muscle, through everything, pressing your hands into the mat. Breathe. Nice big inhale. You're bringing that knee back in, and then send the hips back. Relax into a child's pose. So really stretch the arms long. Let the upper body roll right over the thighs. Relax the neck and shoulders. And as you're ready, take an inhale. We're going to come right back to table. So I decided in order to be super grateful that I would offer a lot of my favorite things in this practice today. So we're going to start with one of my favorites, and it goes a little something like this. So you're going to take an inhale and then send this right foot out to the right. The right sole of the foot is on the floor. I'm going to move so you can see me from both directions. So I'm basically just in a table, and then I'm going to send this right leg out to the right, and I'm going to make sure my whole right foot is on the floor, okay? So from here, what I'm going to do is definitely check those wrists that are right under the shoulders. I want you to just send a little bit of awareness to your hips. So what's going on with your hips right now? Is the right one up a little bit further than the left? What's going on there? I want you to try to square your hips and see if you've sunk any weight into this left leg. See if you can really engage, kind of push that knee into the floor. Use a blanket or a towel. And you're just going to take an inhale right here, and then exhale slowly, slowly, slowly. Let that hip dip in towards, that right hip dip in towards the center. Now you got this left hand is right, the wrist is right under the left shoulder. You're going to take an inhale and slowly start to open this right arm up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, it's going to thread through, but we're not staying there. We're going to inhale and bring it right back up. Inhales, lift and open. Exhales, contract and close. So you're getting that stretch through that right inside of the leg, the adductor muscles right there. Inhale, and then exhale, thread it through. So just find your breath moving through a few more rounds just like this. Pausing in any places that feel so good that you just want to stay there and hang out for a breath or two. Do that. Keep moving through. And then on your next inhale, whenever you're ready, take that big breath, reach that right arm up, stay strong through that left arm, and open wherever it feels good to you. You can press that right foot into the floor. You can open that right arm behind you. And breathe into all of the places. Inhale, bring that right arm down. You're going to thread it through and then find that right shoulder down on the mat.
So it may be that in this posture, the best that your body will do is to bend down on the left elbow. That's fine. You can use a block or a book if you can't make your right temple come all the way down to the floor. But just spend a few moments here finding that place. If it's too much to thread the arm through, just come down to elbows. If that's too much, come back to hands. It's all good. Give yourself 2 more breaths. And then as you're ready, let that left elbow make its way back to the mat. Unthread this right arm, bring it right under the right shoulder, and come back to your tabletop arms. Bring that right arm in. And give yourself just a little swaying of the hips here. Maybe a little awareness to the tailbone so it's not curving up so much that you feel like you're putting a lot of pressure on your lower back. A couple of cat-cows may feel really good here. Barrel rolls with the hips. Just find what you need and give yourself a few breaths of that. All right, my dears, let's do the other side. So we'll come back into that table. Take a nice big inhale. This time the left leg comes all the way out to the left. Left sole of the foot on the floor. Strong through the arms. They're right over the shoulders, and I've got a nice long angle going with my spine. So I'm checking that left hip. It's not up. It's even. It's square with the right. Take a fresh big breath. And exhale. Let it go. So feel into that. And sway the hips forward and back. Whatever feels good. Find that right arm right under the right shoulder. Take an inhale, lift that left arm up towards the sky. Exhale, thread it through. Move with your breath. Give yourself 2 more. When you take that next inhale, whenever you're ready, inhale, open it up. Breathe into all of that is open to you right now. Strong through that right arm. Take an inhale. Exhale, as you're ready, that right arm comes all the way through, finding that right elbow if you need it. Maybe it threads through a little bit more. Maybe use the back of your right forearm to rest your head. Find your spot. Release where you can. take 3 more breaths. As you're ready, take an inhale. Press into that right elbow. Let that left hand come right under that left shoulder. You're making your way back into tabletop. Just a few more breaths right here. Whatever it is that your body's asking dog next. So just feel into all of the places. Give yourself all of the things. And then as you're ready, curl your toes, take an inhale, exhale, down dog. So spend a few breaths here. It has to be static. It doesn't have to be still. Down dog can be you getting into all of those little nooks and crannies by connecting breath to the movement. Stay strong through the arms. Think about whether or not you feel like your back is rounding. If it is, really try to send those hips back by pressing into the hands and really letting that long line of the back show up. Don't worry if there's a bend in the knees. As you're ready, we'll make a slow walk towards the top of the mat. Take an inhale. Exhale, start your walk. We're going to meet in a forward fold at the top of the mat. There's a generous bend in the knees. The torso might even be resting on the thighs. Let the head hang heavy. And just kind of shake the head. Do it. Notice how you're feeling. And then as you're ready, we'll begin. So take an inhale halfway, flat back, long spine, crown towards me. Exhale to release. Inhale down low. And then exhale, slow rise. Hands come near the hips. We'll reach the arms up over the head. Bringing the palms together down through heart center, bowing chin to chest. Take an inhale here. Exhale, let it go. Beautiful. So you can take just a moment to do another one of my favorite things, which is coat hanger arms. So you can spread the feet just a little bit wider than hip width distance. And you're just going to start to sway from side to side, coming up onto the ball of the foot. So you can make this as big or as small as feels good in your body. It can be that your arms are way out here, all the way up near your shoulders. You can have them down near the hips. You can even connect breath and give your booty a tap on the way around. You're going to hear a bunch of pops and cricks in your ankles, and it's fine. It's just gas escaping. We're getting synovial fluid moving through the ankles, a little bit through the hips, definitely into the T-spine, thoracic spine, middle of the back. And it feels very liberating. All right, 2 more. All right. So we'll come to the top of the mat. We'll bring palms forward, facing forward, and just spend a moment to really lengthen through the body. So feeling grounded through the feet on the floor, knees aren't locked, but the pelvis tucks in just a bit. Heart shines forward, shoulders lifted, spine nice and tall. And then we have the chin that's just back just a little bit. It's not tons, but it's back just a little bit. And let's take a nice big opening breath here. So breathe in deep. Sigh it out with an audible sigh. Take an inhale, reach the arms up over the head. Turn the palms out and then exhale, reach the hands all the way behind the back until they clasp low back. Press the fists towards the floor. Now notice what happens with the tailbone. The tailbone sometimes wants to curve out when we do this, so keep it tucked in. If this does not work for your body to clasp hands, then just send them down towards the floor, engaged all the way to the fingertips. Put a slight bend in the knees, take an inhale here, and then exhale forward fold, hinging at the hips, coming forward. Don't worry if the knees aren't straight, we're not warm yet. So take an inhale and then see if you can reach those hands away from the hips towards the shoulders and relax the upper body as you make your way down. You can send the arms over to the right and then send the hands over to the left. Whatever feels good here. If it's too much, bring the hands back down to the hips. Release the hands back down. Take an inhale, and then exhale, release the hands to the floor. So find that gentle sway side to side here, getting into the hips. If you want the feet just a little bit wider, you can do that too. I am going to grab a block. So if you have one, great, bring it to the top of the mat. If you don't have a block, you could probably do this from fingertips. You can definitely do it from fingertips. So let's just do what works for your body. If you have something else to lift your hand off the ground just a little bit, great. If not, no big deal. All right, so we're going to move into another stretch, and this is how it works. So you're going to bring this block or your fingertips or nothing at all, and you're going to put it right in front of you where your palm can rest on it. So I've got it. It looks like this. It's on the lowest side. We've got a generous bend in the knees. And then I'm going to take an inhale and I'm going to start to straighten the legs as I send this right arm up towards the ceiling. Okay? So once I get here, I'm going to make sure that I don't have all the weight in my hands. I'm going to have it evenly distributed through my heels and my hands. I'm going to send this right arm up. Now I'm going to check my hips. Did I start sinking into that right hip? I'm going to bring them square and send that right arm up. Well, actually, the arm was already up. But anyway, so my point is that you're not worried about what the arm looks like. Right now, we're working on the hips. Bring that right arm down. Relax the upper body. See how that feels. And then replace that right hand right where that black block, or I looked at the black block, sorry. Replace the right hand with the left. Take an inhale, straighten the legs as the left arm goes up towards the ceiling. Keep the hips square. Release the upper body. Bend the knees generously. Bring that left hand down. Release your hands off the block. Move through, shaking it out. Move the block out of the way. Hands come to the mat. Step it back. Plank. We're going right into plank. So if you need to use knees on the floor, do it. Your wrists are right under shoulders, nice and strong, pressing the hands into the floor. Keep that booty down, breathing here. Inhale deep. Exhale, bring those elbows in close to the ribs, lowering all the way down. Tops of the feet come to the mat. You're going to bring your fingertips out where they look like the elbows are up and the wrists are right under the elbows. And then you're going to take an inhale and slowly press into the fingertips, lift up as big or as small as feels good, and then exhale. 4 more. Beautiful. After your last one, bring those palms right under the shoulders. Once again, press in, hips back, child's pose. One more breath. Take an inhale. As you're ready, exhale back into table. Curl toes, lift hips, down dog. As you're ready, walk feet and hands. We're going to meet in the middle of the mat in a forward fold. Take an inhale, halfway, flat back. Exhale, release. Inhale, down low. Exhale, slow rise all the way up. Palms come together over the head, coming together at heart center, bowing chin to chest. Nice big deep breath. Let it go. So you're going to turn where you're towards the long edge of the mat. So I'm going to give you just a moment just in case you want to change the way that your mat is facing me. Totally up to you. But you are going to want to make sure that you have that block up towards the front of your mat still. So if you have to change the way that your room is set up or the computer is set up, whatever, just make sure you have the block at the top of what would be your left foot. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. All right. So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to take an inhale. We're going to reach the arms up over the head. And then we're going to make sure that the toes are right in front of the heels down on the mat. So nothing is splayed out or whatever. And we've got a generous opening with the legs. So when you're ready, take an inhale and then exhale, forward fold halfway. Breathe. So we're going to lower from halfway all the way to the floor, but we're going to use several breaths to do it. So I want you to just listen to your body on the exhales. It will tell you if you're done and you need to go all the way down or come out or whatever, but just listen to your breath. So it goes something like this. Join in whenever you're ready. Inhale. Exhale. Headings heavy. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale all the way down. Hands can come to the floor in front. They can just be swaying somewhere. Relax the upper body. And then as you're ready, you're going to start to walk these hands away from you. You're coming into a wide leg plank. Plank. So find it. Strong through the arms, booty not too far up. Do you have 2 more breaths? Inhale. Exhale, send the hips back. Start to press into the hands. Bring yourself forward. And there's going to be a spot with the hands out in front of you on the floor that you're going to be able to send the hips back. And it's almost like you're doing a wide leg down dog. So you're feeling a really great stretch as the upper body hinges at the hips and relaxes down. As you're ready, start to bring those hands back right underneath you. Bend the knees nice and big. Inhale deep. And then exhale, slow rise all the way up. Palms open, heart opens. Deep breath. Beautiful. Bring your arms out into a T. Shoulders are right over hips. And then slowly send this left set of toes towards the front of your mat. Bend that left knee right over the left ankle. Make any length adjustments that you need to find your warrior two. Making sure those shoulders stay right over hips. And this right leg is, the hips are open, so we're not caving towards the front. We're open to the side. Gaze towards the middle finger of the front hand. Open through the heart. Keep the shoulder blades close together behind you. Take an inhale, straighten that left leg, and then you're going to send the left fingertips forward and then down, finding triangle. This is where that block, if you need to bend that knee to find that block, to use that as you reach that right arm up towards the ceiling, do it. If you don't have a block or something, you can put your hand on your leg. This is my absolute favorite pose. I don't know why I love it so much, but I do. So things to be aware of is we want this right shoulder in line with the right hip. That's where we want to be. I should say that's like yoga perfection, but none of us are yoga perfect. None of us are perfect, period, and shouldn't want to be. So you're finding that version, your version of what triangle looks like. So even like awareness to the chest, is it leaning forward, like down towards the floor? Can you roll the heart open? Y'all are like, just get me out of this pose. Okay, so bend that left knee, take an inhale, come back, warrior two. Reset it, get those shoulders right over the hips. Inhale, straighten the left leg, left toes towards the front, and then drop the arms, sway them. We're gonna do the whole, that thing on the other side. So if you need to move your block, you can do that. All right, let's set it up. So we've got those arms out into a T. We'll start to move those right toes towards the long edge of the mat, towards the back of the mat, and then we're going to bend in. So we've got the shoulders right over the hips, arms out, gaze towards the middle finger of the front hand. Straighten that right leg. Send the fingertips forward and then down, finding your triangle. Awareness to rolling the heart towards the side, not towards the floor. And then open where you can. Releasing where you can. Got to make it even. 3 more breaths. Nice big inhale, bend that right knee. Make your way back into warrior two. Reset it. Find all of the things. Nice big inhale. Straighten that right leg, toes towards the long edge of the mat. Shake out the arms, bring the feet together. Give yourself whatever you need here. I'm going to take a sip of water. So we're going to move into balance for the day. And so the only thing that I cannot do for you is show you a lot of wall modifications, just because I don't have a wall. I can use a pole. But anyway, so I'm going to show you, it's called the, I do tree a little bit differently, and I call it the ash tree. And so if you've practiced with me before, then you know it, but it's basically the building block of how we do every other balance pose that I offer in class. So this is a good one to start with if this is your first time practicing with me. So you're just going to come into, you know, mountain pose basically. And you're going to start to feel nice and rooted in, but also lifted up. So that same thing where we really just get into the body and lift up the spine and feel nice and empowered, like a ripple that comes from the soles of the feet all the way up to the crown of the head. That's where we start. Tucking the pelvis in just a bit. And then I'm going to bring my hands to heart center. Start to turn some of that focus towards drishti, or soft gaze. And so find something in front of you, 3 or 4 feet. And you're just going to start to focus on that. That's all you're doing. The knees aren't locked. You've got a tall spine. You're going to take an inhale here. And as you exhale, slowly let that body weight move over to the left side of the body. Check the posture. Don't lose that ripple of power from the soles of the feet up to the crown of the head. And then when you're ready, you're going to inhale, lift this right knee up. Right foot is flexed. And then as you're ready, that right psoas is going to help you. Your glutes are going to help you. Your core is going to help you as you send awareness to the hips, to the glutes, to everything. Keep that right foot flexed. And then if you're feeling nice and gloriously balanced today, you can open the arms towards the sky. Bring the hands together. Leg comes all the way back to the front and then down. And then we get the coat hanger arms. So while you're coat hanger arming, if you've never practiced with me before, the reason why I do tree differently is because I look at tree as a hip opener. And I think we spend too much of our ego minds worrying about how far up our leg we can get that foot, right? I'm not against that. Do that if that's what you like. I find it not where I want my practice to be, so that's what I offer. Anyway, so by just leaving the leg open, then I'm engaging glutes, core, psoas. I'm using all of those hip flexors, and I'm strengthening those. So not that those things aren't available in a regular tree, but this one feels better to me. So let's do the other side. Coming back to that mountain pose, hands at heart center, taking a nice big deep cleansing breath. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. As you're ready, we'll move awareness over to the right side of the body. Find that ripple all the way up, strength all the way up to the crown of the head. Check that tailbone. And then we'll lift this left foot. Keeping the left foot engaged. And then when you're ready, that knee opens to the left, starting to engage the entire core, glutes, everything. And then hands lift if you're feeling it today. Bring that left knee back towards center. Hands back down through heart center. And then drop that foot, shake it out. Just one more breath right here. We'll come to the top of the mat. We'll meet in mountain at the top of the mat. Nice big deep breath. Let it go. Inhale, lift the arms up over the head. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale to release. Hands come to the mat, feet step back. Plank. Exhale, moving through chaturanga into up dog. Strong through the arms, open through the heart. Drop the knees to the mat, send the hips back, child's pose. Releasing anything that's shown up in the low back. Releasing the head to the floor. Nice big inhale. Exhale, we'll come back to table. We'll swing those feet over to one side so that we can come to a seat. You can sit on a blanket just to get those two bony points on the front of the blanket to try to give you just a little bit of forward motion with your pelvis. And then you're going to bring the soles of the feet together. Hands can be wherever feels good. You're just going to start to find that tall spine. Come back to the breath. So this next one is another one of my favorites. I call it cobbler staff because I engage my body in the same way I would from staff pose, but I do it in cobblers. So I take my hands and I'm going to put them right by my ankles. If that doesn't work for your body and you have longer arms and you want them down by your feet, you can. They can come to ankles. They can be anywhere between the knee and the foot. So find your spot. And the other thing about cobblers is the feet don't have to be all up in your grill in the same way that in tree your foot doesn't have to be all up in your grill. So you can have as much space as you need for your feet. So what you're going to do is start to find that strength. It's going to come from the tailbone this time all the way up to the crown, feeling the power all the way up to the crown of the head. It's going to start to show a stretch in the back of the shoulders. So take an inhale here, and as you're ready, exhale, press the knees towards the mat, find that opening through the heart. Think about the core muscles so the back doesn't round out too much, and breathe 5 breaths. Last one. Inhale. Exhale to relax. Beautiful. You can use your hands to bring your knees together. And you're just going to bring your hands where you're leaning back like you're like at a friend's house, you know, and you're like sitting somewhere. And then you're going to bring the heels a little bit wider than hip width distance. They're not quite as wide as your mat. So make sure that you don't let the upper body cave in, really hold it open. And then we're just going to give ourselves some more of those windshield wipers. So inhaling and then letting the heart shine forward as you move from side to side. You may find that your lower half wants to walk away from your upper half, but see how it shows up in different parts of your body, and then reset if you need to. Clearly, I needed to reset. One more breath. And then as you're ready, bring the knees close together. Sit up nice and tall and wrap your arms around your knees if you can. Tall spine. If this doesn't work for your body, no big deal. Again, give yourself as much space as you need. I'm more concerned or more interested in the tall spine than whether or not you can get your knees up into your chest. So find that. And then you're going to send the arms out long. Gaze straight ahead. Take an inhale here. Exhale slowly with control. Start to come back just a bit. Don't clench the teeth if you can help it. Holding here. Inhale. Exhale, bring it up. Hug in. Tall spine. Tuck the chin down towards the chest if that would feel good. Maybe roll that right ear over to the right shoulder and then chin down towards chest. Left ear towards left shoulder. And then back down towards chest. Roll the shoulders a few times. Bring the arms out to the side. Find that tall spine. Here we go. Nice big inhale. Exhale, slowly moving back. Finding that spot. Awareness to the jaw. Don't collapse into the lower back. Last breath. Inhale here. Exhale all the way down to the floor. So give yourself just a few breaths here for whatever it is that you need. Maybe it's windshield wipers. Maybe it's lifting the legs back up and bicycling the legs, or making it touching the inside, sending the toes up and then down. What it is that you need right here. Full body stretch. Take the next several breaths to give yourself whatever it is that you need. So as you decide what Shavasana is going to look like for you today, you can pause this video, take whatever time that you need for Shavasana, and then come back to me when you're ready to end your practice. So you can take a moment, pause, breathe, reflect, and then come back to me when you're ready. So our quote for the day is this: your power lies in what you are grateful for. So throughout this day, throughout this week, until we see each other again, and then even when we see each other again,
Remember that your power lies in what you are grateful for. So feed yourself the things that you are grateful for. Gratitude for practicing with me today. Be well. Namaste.